Okay, now Terry and Shawn reveal the cover for book 3 of the Viridian Deep series, Sister Starlit Seas. Okay, shared page, go live. All right, we're going live right now.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go through your page real quick, make sure it's there. And it is. Okay. All right, happy opening day. Baseball is back. My name is Shawn Speakman. I'm with Terry Brooks. We're both wearing our gear because we're Mariners fans. How are you?
Enthused by the advance of the baseball season.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
That's
something
how
you
I
and
am.
I share. We've had that in common ever since we met. We're huge baseball fans, and finally we have a team after all these years that we can root for.
Well, yeah, I mean, how many years has it been since we were in the playoffs? This past year was the first time in, I don't know, 20 some years
It
that
was
we'd made the,
2001. Yeah.
oh my God. So, you know, it is a big deal for us. We're not exactly a firehouse group of players, but now they have a group that's looking like they might end up being a firehouse group.
Yeah. So we're Terry's writing a new book. I'm editing a book, and we got word this morning from Penguin Random House and the Del Rey Books people that we could reveal the new book's cover today if we wanted. And so Terry and I decided we're just going to jump online and do this really quick. We're not really doing a Q&A for this, but I'm sure that you guys want to see the cover. So this is for book 3 of the Viridian Deep series, and we have not revealed the title yet. So I'm going to let Terry share the details of the title, what the book is about, because that information will be out there. If it's not already out there, it's going to be out there tomorrow. So I'll let Terry talk a little bit about book 3.
Well, it was a hard book for a number of reasons. Not the least of which were 3 previous years of COVID that knocked me down pretty good and threw me off my game. So writing it was much more difficult. And the work that had to be done to get it to where it needed to be was much more extreme than what I'm used to. So I'm exhausted from this book right now, and thank gosh it's done and out of my, to-do lists of things for the time being at least. But it's been approved, so we know it's going. But I feel like I've been working on it forever. The trick with series for me is to always come up with something that goes with everything else. And so I've got Child of Light and Daughter of Darkness. So what happens next? Well, the main thing that happened is I made the decision to change the main character from Oris to her little sister, Char. And she becomes the main character in this new book. All of the old characters are still there, but this is mostly Char's story and what she finds out about herself, because she is adopted also, and she has a very mysterious background also. And so nobody's really sure about anybody else in these books. I guess that's what it boils down to. You never know your family, right? Something like that. And in this case, they really don't know their family, and they're beginning to learn about it bit by bit. And we've discovered most of what there is to know about Oris, but we don't know so much about Char. So I had to come up with a title that would fit in with the others to make a long story short, if that's possible. And usually it's to me, to my editor, to come up with a title. And in this case, I knew pretty fast what I wanted it to be. So I was able to come up right away with what I thought was a suitable title. When I played it out for everybody, yourself included, everybody was excited by it. So I'm going to go with the fact that I came up with the right title.
Yeah. You did. And what is that title?
Oh, that title. That title is Sister of Starlit Seas. Yes. And that will be explained in the book.
I love that. It's a beautiful title. I love the alliteration that's in there. And you still keep to the same the same
Style.
yeah, the same style as the first two books. You got the of in there, which is pretty
No,
cool.
this is a series about families. And we were just talking a few minutes ago about the fact that everybody thinks they know their family, and seldom do they actually know everything about their family. And in this case, nobody seems to know much of anything about their family. We've got several adopted children who have mysterious backgrounds. We have a brother and sister who have been ingrained into the family differently than the new ones, the three new ones. And so there's a lot of room for extrapolation on something like that. And I spend a lot of time writing about the way families act or don't interact with each other, and how they have to get past a lot of things that they learn about the rest of the family along the way when growing up. And probably everybody has something they can speak to on that front.
Right. So we know who the sister is in the title. What about the Starlit Seas part of this? Does the book take place on Starlit Seas?
Yeah, it does. It turns out that I guess I can talk about this. That
you can.
Char's background is as diverse as Oris. Oris, who thought she was human, turns out to be a fae, and Char, who thinks she is fae, turns out to be a marrow. And the word marrow is, I think it's an Irish word for the term mermaid. So she has a life that is connected directly to the oceans and the waters and the things that live within it. And that gave me a chance to go to a new place entirely to talk about mermaids, essentially. And what are mermaids really like? And what are these mermaids like? And, how do they interact with each other? And what are their difficulties? And what do you do if you find out you're a mermaid?
Right.
So I had a lot of fun with that part of it. And it was a challenge to, the thing about mermaids is you can make up anything you want to about mermaids because lots of other people have already. And
right.
there's no blueprint that's systemic with regard to who and what mermaids are. A lot of interpretations in the countries all over the world. So in this case, I was able to come up with my own interpretation of mermaids as I see them, and the difficulties they might encounter, and what you would do if you found out that you were not what you were once again, but something really different.
Right. All right. And that's going to be shown here in a little bit in the cover. I'm happy you mentioned the mermaid thing, because it's front and center on the cover.
Yes, it is.
And out of the three covers, I've liked every single cover of the Viridian Deep series, but this is my favorite easily. I think your readers are going to agree with me. Should we show that off now?
Sure, let's show it.
Let's do it. All right, I'm going to hit share screen. There we go. There is the cover.
There it is. One of the things that has been uniform is the style of the cover, with a bold print of the title and my name as author, but also in the background, you've been in a scene that directly reflects what is going on in the book. And that's rather important to keep that consistency and to let people see, wait a minute, are those fish tails that I'm seeing down there? And who's the girl swimming through all this and looks underwater like? And all those things that you want to have in a cover that will draw the reader's attention to what the story might be about, and so that there's some kind of a uniformity to it.
I just love the colors in this. Just
colors are great. Well, they went with the decision early on when we were doing Child of Light to go with a green-blue central image color for everything in the three series, in the three books. And at the time I was thinking, I wasn't compelled. I had signed on to do 2 books, but I knew I was going to do a third because I like working in threes. And so this will be the third book in the series. And there's that sense of it being a real story involving this family that Oris is a member of, and the other characters in the book was kind of crucial, I thought, to the way in which we approach it.
Yep, it's beautiful. When does the book publish?
Last I heard, it was 14th of November, right?
I think so, yeah.
14th of November. And that's kind of late for me, but we've all been running a little behind time, even at the publishing house and myself certainly. So it didn't get settled as a book until very recently. And they have to give themselves a good 6 months and sometimes longer because of all kinds of issues with getting books printed and published and out in the public eye, and having struggles with the artists or with the print people. And it's just not an easy thing to do anymore. And it's no longer quite the easy stamp and out situation it used to be with books. It's much harder now.
Right. Yeah. Well, I love this. Are you thinking about doing a small tour for the release of this book in November? What are your thoughts on that right now?
Yeah, I'm always thinking about something. I'm not even thinking about doing more books in this series, but for the time being, I think this is the end of this series until I come up with a new idea or some kind of compelling reason to do others. I'm not going to do, because of the way things are in the country and because of my advancing years, I'm no longer going to go do 4 to 6 weeks or something like that. Those days are dead and gone. And I think I'll probably do local signings in the Pacific Northwest. There's some talk about between Judine and I about taking a trip down to the California, Nevada, Utah area and doing some stores down there. They've always been pretty faithful for me, and thinking about doing that. And in addition, I'm doing 3-4 different conventions, including ones in St. Louis, Louisville, excuse me, screwed up there. Louisville, Kentucky, also in DC, and one in Houston, and one in, I don't know, somewhere else. I thought Canada. I'm going to go up to Canada too.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So I'll be doing, I haven't been there for a while. It's sort of like Canada disappeared at the start of COVID and never came back. I knew it was there waiting. So anyway, they made a pitch and said, why don't you come? And I said, sure, I'll come. It's a Calgary convention, which I've been to before a couple of times, and so I'm going to do it again.
All right, great.
And I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to getting back up there again. Looking forward to getting out of the house. I haven't been doing much in the way of traveling. I went to New York Comic Con last year, and in October, and I haven't done much more besides that. And so I really need to advance my exposure beyond, just the occasional appearance on Zoom.
Right. Yeah, you get sick of me, right? Well, the convention appearances, other than the Canadian one, are posted on the website already. So those of you who are curious where Terry will be over this summer, those are listed. And then by the end of summer, maybe early falls, when we'll get the tour details for Sister of Starlit Seas, and that information will be up on the website as well.
Right.
Then, so thank you for taking your time today. I know it's a busy day because you got friends coming over. We got baseball starting. It's all very exciting. But this is equally as exciting, maybe more so. I love this cover. And now we have a title we can share. We have the cover we can share. And the description I see is already up on Amazon. So all this information that we'll be getting out there and on the website in the next couple of days. So thank you for taking your time to reveal this. This is amazing. And yeah,
we'll come back and do this again, as you say, as we get closer to publication date and as some of these events start to crop up, and talk a little bit about the choices and what we're trying to do with this. And I'm not talking at all at this point about where I'm going to go from here, and primarily because I'm still waffling around about where I'm going to go from here. But I have to make some decisions about that fairly soon. I have some ideas, so we will want to talk about that at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
All
All
right.
right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Sorry we couldn't take questions today, but we will be taking questions at a later date for sure. We'll set up something where we give you a lot more time to know that we're going to do a Q&A. Terry, have a great opening day. Have fun
Thank
today.
you. Thank you. I intend to. I'm going to do what everybody else is, which is watch the first game
Yeah.
from afar, but at least I'm going to watch it and try and get past football and into baseball.
It's baseball season, so
That's right. It's time for baseball.
all right. Thank you everybody for watching this, and we will be in touch. Hope you're reading something well. Bye.
Bye-bye.